So what has been your wish list, your reasonable wish list, and what do you think is going to happen?
That's a great question. Like I said, this whole situation definitely makes it harder for Tennessee to make a hire at this point. I'll say T. Martin is kind of the prevailing name, offensive coordinator at USC right now. Tennessee legend, won a national championship as Tennessee's quarterback in 1998. He's done a pretty good job out there at USC. I think they're playing in the Pac-12 championship this coming week, so
yes,
he's doing something right. And he would be cheap. He would be a cultural fit because he knows Tennessee. He knows his fan base. He has also recruited in the southern United States pretty extensively. And so he would be my first guess. I think Bruce Feldman actually earlier today said that he was a serious candidate for the position. So he'd be the first. David Cutcliffe at Duke, another Tennessee guy through and through, was Philip Fulmer's offensive coordinator for forever and a day. He is an option. I've been told he's been contacted, but I can't confirm that. And past that, Les Miles, maybe. I would love Lane Kiffin. But there's just hell would have to freeze over before he ever actually became Tennessee's football coach. Again, unfortunately. Yeah, that would be my list right now. Just those, realistically, T. Martin, David Cutcliffe, Les Miles. See if you can get any of those three guys to come, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Charlie, I was trying to pull up the exact tweet, but it was something to the effect from Lane Kiffin today that he was sitting around pining for the Tennessee job, and then he said something like, "Oh, no, just kidding," or whatever.
I did see that, yeah.
I'm getting ready for the conference championship game, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. He has been a giant tease to fans, and on the radio show that I am a co-host of every morning, we had on Chris Lowe from ESPN, and he did a big expose on Lane Kiffin this past week. It was really interesting. And he said he talked to Lane Kiffin, and Lane said, basically, if Tennessee called, he's the coach at Tennessee. He told Chris Lowe that. So I'm not saying you should call Lane Kiffin, but maybe you should call Lane Kiffin. I don't know. Like you said, he's playing for a conference championship this week, so maybe he'd be good. I don't know.
Yes, Lane Kiffin's tweet: as Tennessee again finds itself engulfed in flames, Lane Kiffin waits by his phone, not waiting at all, getting his team ready to win its 9th straight game against a great North Texas team, come to the conference championship game.
He loves trolling Tennessee fans right now, that is for sure. But I wouldn't mind it if he was Tennessee's coach and then trolled Tennessee fans. But realistically, I doubt that one happens, unfortunately.
You have three very different candidates in Les Miles, David Cutcliffe, and T. Martin. T. Martin, obviously the up-and-comer, the guy who has ties to the program, but the up-and-comer young guy who could build a program and you could see being there for 10 to 15 years. Les Miles, the Band-Aid, the quick fix. Maybe he gets you into contention and for 3 to 5 years and turns things around quickly. David Cutcliffe, his calling card has always been, I can take lesser talent and I can beat yours, even with mine. He's done it at Duke, and he did it to a certain extent at Ole Miss as well with lesser talent against the SEC Western Division.
Les is interesting. I don't know. I don't know what would happen there. That's tough to say because the game kind of passed him by, right? Like
it appears so.
But
if you surround him with the right guys, I think he's the guy to lead the program.
Sure. Well, I had this conversation with somebody earlier today. It would essentially be the football equivalent of Tennessee hiring Rick Barnes a couple of years ago, where it's a guy in the twilight of his career who's been really, really good in the past, but had kind of phoned it in. Rick Barnes has since, at least in my opinion, I cover the basketball team also day to day. Has really had a resurgence. I think he really has a fire about this team. They're doing special things. Just had a top 25 win over Purdue this week. Came in third in the Battle for Atlantis tournament thing over Thanksgiving. So maybe Les Miles, sort of learns his lesson, I guess, comes to Tennessee, has a resurgence, brings some stability, which would be absolutely massive right now. And yeah, put the right guys around him. I think he'd be something really great. But yeah, he, like I said, the game definitely, at least outside looking in, kind of passed Les Miles by. And so I would be weary when comparing him to an up-and-comer who the ceiling might be a little bit higher. But, I mean, Les Miles won a national championship, and you can't take that away from him, and he was a great coach at one time. So maybe he is the answer. I can tell you, I will not complain if it's Les Miles. I'll put it that way.
All right, we got Charlie Burris on the line from Orange and White Report. Please join him right there for the very best in Tennessee sports coverage and, of course, the football situation as they try to find the right man for the job to lead them into 2018 and beyond. Greg Schiano, not the right guy. All right, Charlie, I appreciate you jumping on here and giving us some insight and perspective in this.
Absolutely. I appreciate the invite. It was a good conversation. Got a little deeper than just the coaching search, which I appreciate. That doesn't happen enough when I do things like this. So it was good.
No question, Charlie. Appreciate it. And good luck on the coaching search. Not that you're involved or in charge of it, but certainly on top of it. Yeah, they need some luck over there, I would say. I don't know if that's going to be enough to make them change their ways, but it's going to be a fun couple of weeks. Let's see what happens.